welcome to our 250th episode of the Woolly Thistle, which snuck up on me. Did it sneak up on you?
Mm-hmm.
Snuck up on all of us. We're so excited. 250 is a lot. I'm your host, Corinne. This is my co-host, Maggie, and together we run the shop, the Woolly Thistle, which is an online store with a shop front where we're sitting right now. And we specialize in woolly wool, non-superwash types of yarns. So we have the best yarns in the world here, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're here for a new episode, and I've got some housekeeping as usual. I'll just get stuck in, shall I? We no longer run ads on any of our videos, so you shouldn't be seeing any ads anywhere that the Woolly Thistle is uploading, which is great. If you do, let us know, because that is usually done by YouTube or something, but we are not doing it, and that is because we would love to have your support in sharing with your friends about our videos and coming over here and watching. And just support us by coming to the shop and checking out what we've got and things like that. So we're not going to bombard you with ads, which is good. And also our PIPS program, that is doing really well. Whenever you purchase from us, you have the opportunity to create an account and earn PIPS. It's really low key. It's not a big deal having an account. Then when you shop with us, you will earn PIPS. And you should come and spend your PIPS too. We see people doing that and it's fantastic, and that's what it's all about. If you would like a spot on this show, we would recommend that you get in touch by filling in the contact form on the website. This is for people who want to show us their Woolly Thistle knits, maybe whips and FOs, doesn't matter, but we love to see what you're knitting, and it's a favorite segment of the Shopcast. So if you're interested in that, please do reach out. And just make sure that you check below for the links to everything we talk about. It's always down below.
Mm-hmm.
Quite extensive notes, so a lot of work goes into that. So use it because it'll get you where you want to go. I think that's all the housekeeping, Maggie. I'm very officious today. What do we have on the show today?
We have segments from Kelsey, Emma, and Yoga with Kim.
Fantastic. I happened to watch Kelsey and Emma's segments, and they were fantastic. You're in for a treat with that, and yoga's always so good and relaxing, so I look forward to that. And we'll give away 2 prizes to 2 winners, but shall we just get stuck in? How are you doing?
I'm good. We record on a Monday, and we may have had the spring solstice this weekend, but it was snowing on our way in this morning.
Yes.
Just a little bit, just that.
And I actually slid past the road to turn in here. I had to sort of back up a little bit, so it's icy out. Be careful.
Yeah.
If you're in the neighborhood on a Monday. So it's dark outside and snowing.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I almost brought the grill out yesterday from its hibernation, and I thought better of it. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because, I think we were feeling really good on Saturday. The weather, it was up to 60 degrees and feeling really spring-like.
Yeah.
It's not. It's still winter. We're in New England.
Yeah. We have to remind ourselves here in New England, like, don't get too excited.
Mm-hmm.
It's only March and anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
I can remember we've had May snow even once.
I think
hopefully not this year.
No, but this time last year we had a huge dumping of snow. Like, it was up to the handles on my car doors, and Maya and I had to dig them out, which was fun. Okay, so anyway.
So other than that, I'm still wearing my wool.
Yeah, me too.
I am wearing my vanilla fluff today,
Hooray.
which is just lovely and cozy
and warmish.
Yes,
and
we
wearing well.
Didn't plan to coordinate.
No, but we kind of do. Mm-hmm. So you're wearing your vanilla fluff.
Yeah, my vanilla fluff, which is knit with Rauma Fennel Garn and Rauma Plum mohair.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I did do the split hem on this one.
Yeah.
I like having my shirts stick out.
Yeah, me too. I like that. Looks really good. I don't know if we've ever talked on here about the vanilla sweater starter set, which is an offering we have for completely new knitters who maybe you can knit but you haven't knit a garment yet, or maybe you want to just start knitting and you're really adventurous. But the vanilla sweater starter set gives you the pattern, the yarn, the needles, a tote bag, I'm sure, and also the course, so that it gets you up and running and knitting a sweater right away and you end up with something like this. Although this is the fluffy version, we have a non-fluffy version. So yeah, check that out if that interests you. I'm wearing an oldie but a goodie. I'm wearing historical knits, and I brought some with me too because I want to talk about them a little bit. But this is the Tangled Yoke by Uni Yang or Uni Jang. I'm not sure the correct way. And this is an interesting cable because usually cables patterns go up in a panel, but this is actually worked across without, you know, your panel's sort of going this way, which broke my brain a little bit when I was knitting it. But this was finished in 2014. It's knitted in Debbie Bliss BFL, and it's worn like iron, you know. I mean, it's 11 years old and I've worn it a lot, and it's still one of my favorite things. And it's got the garter rib all the way up the arm here, which I really like. It's a nice, I learned a lot with knitting this one, and I brought a few other historical knits which we can talk about later, but or I can, you know, just talk about. But so that's what I'm wearing. And what are you knitting on these days?
I'm making slow progress on my sweater. My cabled sweater, so I guess it's cable day here. So I did bring it to show, even though if you've been here, it's not a whole lot different.
We love seeing it.
But I figure, you know what? It's slow craft, so it's fine.
You've split
my little cable needle there. So I have split. Let's see. Let's pull that up. For the back, so I'm using my barber cord. So the front half, the front half of the sweater is on the barber cord, and the pattern has you start with the back. And I'm almost there.
So great. It's so good.
Yeah, so I think the next step will actually be decreasing in the middle, and taking some of the neck stitches off. And then you knit a little further up the arms, and then it's onto the front.
Oh my God, you'll be done so fast.
So
looking good. Really looking good. This is awesome. And this is what are you knitting this in? Tell everyone.
So I'm knitting this in Rauma Fivel, which is Rauma's worsted weight yarn. It's really lovely. It is a nice, light, fluffy.
It's a 2-ply, right? It's not even a 3-ply.
Yeah, it is a 2-ply, but these cables just pop.
Yeah, they do.
Fantastic. Like I'm just really, there's a bunch of capper on it, but yeah, you can see the cables really just pop.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I'm so enjoying this.
It's such a classic look too. You're going to be able to wear that so much.
Yes. Yeah, and if I hurry, I can probably even wear it once this year, but I'm trying to just sort of take my time and enjoy it.
I love it.
It looks very furry at the moment up close, but
yeah, my house is a bit like that
one
too.
One of the kitties was quite snuggly this weekend, so but yeah, you can see like it's come. I'm getting there. It's really, really close. It's gonna fit really well. I'm very excited.
Beautiful work. Good
so
job.
Most of my attention has been going to this. I did, like at knit night, I finished a sock.
Great.
Or finished part of a sock. So
other
but this is this, and then I actually have some spinning. I haven't brought any spinning in a while. So
you want to show us?
I do want to show you because I thought it was quite interesting. Let me put that, just throw that there. So I bought this fiber at Rhinebeck last year.
Gorgeous.
And what I think is really interesting and fun about it, ignore these are just how I tie it off, but this is all the same fiber, but I plied them differently. So I spun it all the same, and this one was finished as a 2-ply, and this one's finished as a 3-ply. And I think it's just interesting to kind of see the difference in the coloring. I don't know if you can really
Well, you can when you say it. I mean, this one's more intense, isn't it? Because it's got 3 plies going through it.
Right. Like, they definitely feel different. Like, you can feel the difference. The 3-ply feels a lot rounder.
Yes, and this actually feels softer, maybe because it doesn't feel as round. And oh, these are beautiful.
Like, the 3-ply is probably a little more tightly spun, too, than the 2-ply. But you can see more color variation in the 3-ply.
Yes, you can.
Because you at times have 3 colors lining up as opposed to 2.
Gorgeous.
So yeah, I had
wait,
a lot of fun with that.
how long did it take you to spin that and ply it?
Maybe like a week and a half.
Wow.
I've been trying throughout March to sit down at the wheel for at least 15 minutes a day. And this bag of BFL was about £1. That's how they sell it. So I still have one bobbin that has some singles left on it, and I've been debating, do I leave it as singles, because it would be kind of fun to like see it as the single, the 2-ply, and the 3-ply. Just for nothing other than
a study.
It delights me.
I love that.
So, and actually I really like the look of this with
yes. So, what are you going to do?
I don't know. But it looks so nice.
It does.
With navy as a main color.
It does.
So I might have to find like a yoke sweater where I can use one or both of those. So
fantastic. So what kind of weight did you end up with?
It feels like it's around a DK.
Are they both the same?
I'm
weights?
sure that it's funny, the 2-ply they look very similar.
They do.
But I wasn't spinning to get a specific weight. I was just kind of spinning for joy. But because the 3-ply is rounder, like I think you could probably get a similar weight. Like they really do look a similar weight. It looks about a DK. But I bet you this could probably go down to about a sport.
Right.
So
yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah.
The different hand on them too is really interesting.
Yeah, if only we had like where you could feel it, because they do feel quite different.
You have to come visit us, and she has to have our spinning here.
So
well, good.
So that's what I've been working on.
All right, are you ready for me to show?
Yeah.
I'm still working on my sweater. I haven't thrown it out yet. Actually, before I show you that, I'll show you my other. Look at this little bag. This was a gift from Carolyn Holbrook, which is just beautiful, and it's made by the Blue Rabbit House, and I'm loving it. I'm matching my bag, and I finished, and I'm on the next one. I knit a sock in Rauma Vandre.
Nice.
Yeah, very quick. It's the Rauma, well, what is this called? 394-5 Furusoka or something. And I went with pink and the sort of Highland Coup brown, and I think I'm just knitting these up for a sample for the shop.
Nice.
Yeah, and I haven't put this in the washing machine yet. The pattern tells you to put this yarn in the washing machine, so we'll probably have one that has not and one that has, just to see if there's any difference. So that's that.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying that, and thank you, Carolyn, for that lovely bag. And then I'm knitting, oh God, I'm in, really?
You're in the middle of a round.
Well, it's not
Although
even
it's
a
not
round.
even a round.
It's so sorry.
That's okay.
Unprepared. So this is a top-down raglan cardigan called the Billy cardigan by Sari Norland. I'm knitting it in Brusca, which is Retrosaria Brusca, and it's, I think, doing a beautiful job of popping. And
I think it's really beautiful.
Thank you. It's top down raglan shaping, which is what I wanted for my cardigan, and you can see the shaping there. That gave me a lot of consternation. I think really just me being me, I'm very hard of learning sometimes, and I have to do it many times. Now I can do it in my sleep, but just getting there was really quite hard for me.
Boy, it's really red day around here, isn't it?
It is. I know. I'm loving the red. So anyway, I did put it on waste yarn, and I did my block for size, for gauge,
Nice.
and my stitch count is fine. My stitch gauge is good. My row gauge is way off. I think she wants 22 stitches per 4, and I'm at 26. So I finished all the raglan increases, and it should be coming down here. And it's,
so wait, 26 for 4 depth wise?
Yes.
Okay.
So I got through all the raglan increases in a much shorter span than she did.
Okay.
So it's not long enough.
Okay. So are you just going to knit longer?
Well, I thought about it, and the other thing I noticed is that I was knitting the wrong size.
Oops.
So yes, I'm kind of, my mind is boggled at how I can be so detail oriented in one way, while at the same time be absolutely cavalier in other ways. So I read the 41.75 is the size I was knitting, thinking that was the bust size. My bust size is the finished bust size. So I need to go up.
Okay.
So I'm taking advantage of this extra knitting I need to do to go up a size.
Okay.
So I will end up where I should be in stitch count. I will end up where I need to be in length, but I'm going to slow the increases down. I've only got 2 sets of increases to do to broaden it.
Okay.
But I have about 2 inches of knitting to do.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do one after, sort of equidistant, and then do another one, and then I will split for the sleeves, and I think I'll be good to go once that's done.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, so this has been quite...
You can always put it on barber cords or waste yarn again, and
I
then
will.
try it on, make sure it fits.
I will. But I think, I brought my other cable finished objects because I'm noticing that cables are a thing with me. I get really persnickety or I do things that feel challenging just to me. I mean, I know many of you can do this without any bother, or maybe it's challenging to you and it's nice to hear that it's challenging to me, and I'm all for that. Sharing my difficulties.
I think too, like the construction, like I've been cruising along, but there's not any shaping. There's not any, like you really just, you start knitting and then you have plenty of time to get used to the cables and the cable pattern before you do anything.
Yes.
Like even simple decreasing.
And I totally assumed that this was bottom up when I started it and quickly got in a fankle because why am I doing shaping? I mean, honest to God, did I not read the pattern? No, probably not. There was there's a lot of writing in the pattern, so maybe I skimmed it. I don't know, but I quickly realized that I was doing shaping and that I hadn't knit a waistband. Yeah, I'm really showing you my dirty laundry right now and how my brain works or doesn't work. But I get there in the end. I am very, very dogged. Once I get a bee in my bonnet, I will figure it out. And I wanted this to look really the best it can.
Yeah.
That's not to say there isn't mistakes in here. There are, but they're ones that I've finally decided I can live with.
Yeah, and whatever mistakes may be in there, they don't stand out.
Good. So that's why I'm wearing this today, because this tangled yoke, which is a lovely pattern that I knit many years ago, I remember getting really dogged with this one because just so you can see, the cables in this are lovely, but they're not in a panel that you're knitting up. You knit them across, and that was something I'd never even thought of before this. And I remember my kids were really small in 2014. They were like kindergartner and second grade or something. And John, my ex, took them away for the weekend up to Storyland, and I was so excited. This was Mommy's break weekend,
right?
And I spent the whole entire weekend figuring out how to do this properly, and I loved it. It was just like I could really get my teeth into it and try and figure it out. Did it wrong many times, and then finally understood what I was trying to do. So there was that. I wanted to show you, I've talked about this one. I joke that it can stand up on its own.
I don't know that I've ever seen this one.
This is from Harrisville Designs. I don't remember the designer's name or the name of the pattern.
We can see if we can find it. If we find it, we'll put it on the screen.
And it's knitted in Harrisville Designs worsted weight, which is Highland.
Highland, yeah.
And I had not knit cables in years and years and years. Like as long as I hadn't been knitting, I hadn't knit cables. But I saw this on a model and said, I want to knit that. I think I can do that. And I did it.
Was this bottom up?
Yes, okay. I think it was. And then I steeked for the neck. This was my first steeking project. I steeked the arms and the neck.
Nice.
And actually, it's not as bad
no.
as I have represented now that I look at it again.
Yeah, no, I feel like that has a lot of nice.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think I would change the neckline, and I might still try to do that. I feel like the neck is too constricting and too high. Like it's not comfy. But if I could,
do you find that you avoid wearing it?
I have never worn it because of the neckline.
Well, then
I shouldn't I? Duh. And it's got a nice sort of waistline detail as well.
Yeah, it's
you
really
know who else
lovely.
knit this? Pat. Lovely Pat knit this too. Hers
Hi,
is in
Pat.
a bluey purple. I was talking to your sister Pat at our cast off on Friday for the.
Pat is she was one of our picker packer employees who recently moved and so we had to let her leave.
Yes, we love Pat.
But Pat is greatly missed around here.
Bright, cheery, came to all our events. I love Pat.
Yeah.
So, and then this is the other cabled project that I did a long time ago. I think I finished this in 2017, and it's Blacker's Classic, which was discontinued a long time ago. And this is the Glenfiddich cardigan, which you're not seeing very well here. How about that?
Lovely. Do you want to hold it this way? Yeah, really give them a...
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And the sleeves are just stockinette. So
do you know who designed it?
Yes, Anna Maria we'll put it down here. Yeah. I did look it up. Otvis, maybe, something like that.
Okay.
And the cables on this were fine, totally fine. What really made me stop and work on this until I was happy was the sleeve join. Here, I don't want to spill water. So you can see that there's a nice line going down where the sleeve joins the body there, Maggie. And then on the front end, it's a different set of decreases because you're going in the different direction. And I got some nice lines there between the knitted or the reverse stockinette here and the stockinette here. I was absolutely driven to figure out how to get this nice separation, this nice line, because the pattern itself didn't. You just picked up stitches and off you went, which is fine. This is me getting a bee in my bonnet. And I'm really proud of the fact that I figured it out. It took me a long time, and I ripped back and re-knit and ripped back and figured it out. So I think I'm just wanting to show you that this is not that unusual for me behavior-wise. It's just been a while.
Well, and I think more important that you end up with a finished garment that you like, that you feel good in.
Yes, and I do wear this a lot. The other thing about this is I had to redo the whole button band, because when I put it on, it was really uncomfortable in the back, and this is not the softest of wool. And I think what it was I didn't have enough stitches. There wasn't enough ease.
It's too tight.
And so it was just kind of rubbing. So I took the button band off and I re-knit it with a lot more stitches, and it's never bothered me since. So I think the moral of my story is you can be whatever kind of knitter you want to be, but sometimes it's really worth getting a bee in your bonnet and really teaching yourself what it is you're trying to achieve. Because you know, the knitter is really involved in the knitting of this thing. It's not just the pattern. You know, you can make your own decisions about things and change things up a little bit. And yeah, it's just a very adventurous spirit, but I'm also really stubborn. And I think that's got the better of me a few times, but to my benefit.
Yeah, but you ended up with a garment that you feel good about.
Yeah, and this is going to be easy to knit once I get these divided. I'm not too bothered about that. I don't know if the sleeves will give me any kind of bother. Probably not, because I think most of that shaping will make sense. I don't know. But anyway, I thought that you might enjoy that, and I have I've never brought in the Highland one, whatever that one's called. But yeah, it was nice to dig it out of the bottom of the chest at the bottom of my bed. It was there waiting.
That's a lot of knitting to just be sitting there.
I know. So maybe I will play with that and see what I can do. Although I don't know if I have any more of that yarn left in stash, but maybe I do somewhere. That was the other thing I came across the cupboard where my personal stash is. It was like a lot. And I just... You
mean you don't regularly confront that? I regularly confront my stash.
I do not, because this, I kind of think of this as my stash there, and then I came across my actual stash, and I slowly shut the door again.
I love the whole, like, how big is your stash conversation. It's a very personal, and I like having that conversation with no judgment or shame.
Yeah.
Some people like a really big stash. Some people like a really lean stash. Mine is an okay size.
Is an okay size? Are you
It's
okay
an okay
with
size
it?
for me.
You also knit through your stash.
I have been knitting through a lot of things. I'm making quite the dent on my goal with spinning had always been to not really have a stash, and then I accumulated. But I've really been spinning through it. So then as a spinner, then the problem is then the yarn, thins up, fills up.
Yeah.
So but it's all good.
Yeah. No, my stash is sizable, and a lot of it is superwash and hand dyed and stuff. Really beautiful skeins. I've always been an admirer of that single skein of hand dyed gorgeousness. So there's quite a bit of that. But then I think there's a lot of like I know I have another sweater's worth of the classic, the Blacker Classic, and stuff like that. So it's a mix. I just forgot that I had it because, when you have all this choice, this is sort of up front and in my face, and I love it. Oh, yeah.
When you have a mixture of like stash and what you've referred to before as collection.
Yes.
Do you ever display the collection?
I used to, and I mean, I've got a different collection now. Now I've got my Jamieson and Smith out. But yes, I actually think I might do that because I've got these lovely bookshelves, and I think my my very precious skein collection would be nice to put out there. Yeah, I think I might do that. Yeah, because right now they're all just tucked away in their boxes, which is kind of sad. Because I have always...
Because then you can't even like look at it, like especially those skeins that are our collection.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have some way to...
Yeah, I have no intention of knitting with them ever. I don't think. Maybe a pair of socks here or there. I do need to knit more socks. We were knitting socks all last year and I really enjoyed that, and I think I want to get back to it because I'm missing like, well, I am knitting on a pair of socks right now and I've really enjoyed that. Of course, being a what weight is that? Is that DK weight?
It might even be worsted.
I think it's worsted weight. It's like
they
less than 50 stitches around and it's like boom, you're done. So that's almost done. But yeah, I think I want to get back to knitting some socks.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm very tangential today.
All right.
Yeah.
We are quite a ways into this, and let's announce a winner, and then we're going to go to a segment.
Sorry. Yes, let's do that.
Our first winner today of a $25 gift card to the Woolly Thistle is at Colleen Conlin 5227. Colleen says, "Thanks for sharing the missteps. We all have them."
Perfect.
Sometimes there's a workaround like Renee's combo knitting fix, and sometimes there's nothing to do but pull back and try again to get the knit we want like Corinne did.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't even,
No,
I did not even
I
look
did not
ahead,
know
so
this
there we go.
either.
All good.
Fantastic.
Colleen, if you can email us at info@thewoollythistle.com, put prize winner in all caps, we will get you your $25 gift card.
It's contagious, yes. And if you would like to be in the running for a gift card, just give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel, and you'll be in the running for being called out next time. Yeah. Okay, so who should we go visit?
Let's go visit Kelsey.
All right, we'll see you on the other side.
Hey, it's Kelsey. I'm just coming in to talk a little bit about a recently finished object. I didn't actually think I'd finish it before the end of winter, and the weather tricked me earlier this week and it was 60 degrees. But today it was cool enough and I wore it and it was all blocked and I'm very happy about it. Well, first of all, this is the Lumme, L-U-M-M-E or Lumme sweater. I don't know how it's pronounced in Finnish, by Sari Nordland. It is a yoked sweater with a double folded collar, so you knit sort of, it feels like a turtleneck when you're knitting it, and then you fold it at the end. It also has similar color work on the sleeves here. I will say I'm knitting it from a deeper part of my stash, so it is not a yarn from the Woolly Thistle, but you could definitely knit it in something like Rauma Fivel, or there's definitely other options. It's a farm yarn in the white and just a commercial yarn in the sort of navy teal color. But what I really wanted to talk about was not the yarn, not the pattern actually, but sweaters and sweater fit. This is a yoked sweater. Usually yoked sweaters for me, because I have a larger chest relative to my upper bust, I end up with extra fabric on the back, and it's sort of wavy and it kind of looks funny. And I know that that's something that other people deal with, so I wanted to explain how I dealt with it a little bit in this sweater, in this project. I can't get up and turn around, but there, you have to take my word for it that it's better than normal. There's like a little bit of extra fabric, but I think that's fine. And what I did was, it's a yoke sweater, so you're knitting it round, and the increases are all even, you know, all the way around. It's evenly spaced, and it's between, you know, in different places in the yoke to go from, you know, this wide to shoulder wide, that wide. So you really have a circle. It's not, some yoke sweaters now like have adjustments of where their increases are to deal with some of this, but this one, flat circle, normal circle. So when it went to split from sleeves, there's no knitting police, there's no knitting requirement that you have to put the sleeves halfway in your yoke. Most patterns call for about halfway, maybe it's slightly moved, but you can shift where your sleeves are to give more fabric in the front if that's what you need, and that's what I need. So determine if that's something that you need. If you measure your upper bust, which is above, sort of deep armpit, above the fullest part of your chest, and then you measure your full bust, and with the difference in those numbers is not exact because you have some, you know, body on the back. The difference between those numbers, maybe it's 2 inches, maybe it's 8 inches, maybe it's something else, will be generally the difference between if you had a completely pancake flat back and a front that has all of that extra width is in the front. That's not what normal bodies are shaped with, so you don't want to go that extreme, but it also sets a good bottom line of you don't want to move any more stitches than that for sure. So what I mean by move stitches is instead of splitting halfway for the sleeves, I moved, I think it was about 4 inches worth, and you have to figure out how many stitches that is by how calculating with your gauge, your actual gauge, not the pattern gauge. how many stitches more I want in the body section on the front versus the body section on the back. So your total of your stitches that you have on your yoke, anything you cast on underneath on both sides, will give you the whole circumference of your body and your sleeves. When you take the sleeves part off, whatever your body number is, that's the number of stitches you have for the whole front and back. So you may end up, what I'm trying to say is what can help is moving some of those stitches to the front. So depending on which way you're knitting and if it's top down or bottom up, you're going to knit more stitches than called for in the pattern on the front and then fewer stitches on the back. It'll be the same total, but that's kind of a funny thing, but like if that's sort of an oval, you might be doing a little bit of that. See how my thumbs are a little bit flatter and my fingers are a little bit rounder? Gives a little more fabric in the front. What you don't want to do is overdo it because you don't want it stretching on the back and feeling like it's pulling. And you don't want to have too much fabric in the front. Yoke sweaters often have some extra fabric around the armpits. Raglan sweaters are the same. So you don't want to overemphasize that, but it's something that you can definitely do to move a couple of inches. My difference between my full bust and my upper bust is about 8 inches, depending, and I'll get to that in a second, depending, but if you move maybe 60% to 70% of that number, it will alleviate some of the back problem and then give you some more space on the front so it's not pulling on the front and it's not pulling at your underarms. It feels like it fits properly and it's sitting on your shoulders. I'm not the person to invent this, like this has been happening forever, but I just wanted to point it out that you don't have to follow the pattern for sleeve placement. It affects nothing about the body. It affects nothing about the yoke. It affects nothing about the sleeves. It just means that the sleeves, when you start knitting them, are located, like if you think of this as a circle, they're just forward, or no, they're backward in the circle, the round circle of your yoke. Your sleeves are a little bit to the back. So I hope that makes sense. Three other things I wanted to talk about this in this sweater. One, measure your chest again. I am guilty of having measured my body once and been like, that's my full bust measurement and that's my upper chest measurement. Bodies change, both over long periods of time, but also over very short periods of time. And you want your sweater to fit right now, or when you finish it. Maybe you finish it in 2 months. You want it to be close to fitting in 2 months. It can change with different undergarments. It can change with different times of the month, which I don't want you to knit a sweater for certain times of the month, but it gives you some, a range of what size your body is in different circumstances. So making sure that you're knitting a sweater that will fit in all situations instead of being uncomfortable and too tight sometimes and then, fits really nicely other times. Maybe shoot up a little bit so it fits nicely more of the time, and maybe it's a little oversized once in a while, but I think that's fine. I think that's better than having it kind of pull along the front. And then picking your size based on that. And maybe you edge down a size. If you had to pick between 2 sizes, edge down a size. If your shoulders are smaller, or my shoulders are not smaller, but my upper bust is definitely smaller than my full bust. So I tend to go a little bit less in full bust ease if a pattern is measured in full bust ease. But that's just my preference. And that's partially because I can move some of these stitches in a round yoke like this. The second thing is knit a good enough size swatch. I've seen people who knit like a 2-inch by 1-inch swatch. That doesn't help. Knit a 4-inch swatch at a minimum, more like a 6-inch swatch if you really want something accurate. And I've also seen people who are too precious with their swatch. You're not going to be precious with your sweater. You're going to wear your sweater, you're going to drive, you're going to work, you're going to pick up your kids, you're going to run around, you're going to do whatever you're going to do. Do the same with your swatch. I'm not saying like throw it in the road, but take it, wet it, soak it, lay it out, and then when it's half dry, move it around a little bit, fluff it up, twist it, do something, throw it back down so it lays flat. I am a big proponent at not pinning my swatch because I don't want to have to pin my sweater. Just with blocking, I want to be able to throw my wet sweater down, flatten it out, make it look a nice shape, but not have to like stretch and pin it. So if you don't want to have to stretch and pin your sweater, don't stretch and pin your swatch. But that's just my opinion, I think. And then the third final thing is, It drives me a little bit nuts, and I'm not going to stand up to show you this, but when a pattern calls for the same absolute number of inches of ribbing for all sizes. And the reason that drives me nuts is that people who are knitting a larger sweater, if your sweater is larger this way, your proportion, what your ribbing looks like in thickness is going to be different. It looks thinner. The same number of inches will look thinner if your sweater is wider. The same thing as if you're adding length. If you're adding length in the stockinette portion of the body, add a little more in the ribbing as well, because then your ribbing will look the same proportion from ribbing to body to ribbing. That proportion will be the same as on the smaller sizes. It's a very small thing, and it's probably not a big deal to anybody but me. But I have had the experience in the past of knitting, oh, it says knit 1 inch of ribbing, and then I knit it, and it's like, that looks awkward. That looks too small, because either I'm knitting a size that's on the larger end this way, or I'm adding length this way, or both. So I will often knit more ribbing in almost every situation than calls for in a pattern, because I want it to look like the smaller ones, like the smaller patterns, or the smaller versions of the same pattern. And the only way to accomplish that is to knit more ribbing. So that's my third thing about the sweater. So shifting stitches for the yoke, measuring yourself again, even though you have, do it again. Blocking a larger swatch, and don't be precious, mess with it, do whatever you're gonna do. And make your ribbing proportional, so it's visually proportional to whatever size you're knitting. If you're knitting the small, and the opposite's true, knit the smallest size, maybe knit even a little bit less ribbing, because you fell in love with the pattern photo, which is usually somewhere in the middle of the size range, or middle to low of the size range. If you want it to look like that and have that visual proportion, you need to maybe adjust the ribbing yourself. So those are all the thoughts I have. I love this sweater. It's actually my first day wearing it, and it's been great. So I recommend the pattern with with adjustments as you see fit. But otherwise, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening for me talking about sweaters again, and have a good one. Bye.
Thank you, Kelsey. Interesting as always. I loved hearing how she adjusted things to get just the right fit for her.
Yes, fantastic. Really good advice, and kind of a theme, I think. So
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you, Kelsey. And I
Yes.
love your sweater. It's beautiful.
It's really, really beautiful.
And we announced a winner, and we've done all this. Oh my gosh, we have gone way off piste. I'm so sorry. What topics do we have to ramble today?
That's okay. So our Colorwork Accessories KAL finished
Finished.
up last Friday.
Yes. And I don't have my finished object here.
I
I left it at
didn't
home.
finish. I have
What were
still
you-
slowly
Oh,
been
yeah.
working on my scarf.
Yeah.
But it's
It's a long term.
it is a longer term. I will finish it. I'm really enjoying it. It's not. The cables are getting almost all the attention right now.
Which is fine. I finished mine. We can put a picture of it here, and I absolutely loved it. It was a design by Virginia Sattler-Reimer. I think the Estel.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed knitting it with Jamieson and Spindrift, which is what the pattern called for. At the cast-off party, we had about 50 people show up, which was lovely. Thank you if you were there. And we saw many gorgeous FOs, including a lot of alpine blooms.
Nice.
And we saw some balahoolishes and some of these doohickeys.
Dolly mixtures.
Sonia, thank you. And we saw some, I think, yeah, we did. We saw a Balvenie bonnet as well.
Nice.
And lots of other things. And Jill is still knitting on her artist shawl, which is looking really lovely. She'll continue knitting that
Into the Shawl KAL.
Yeah, which I'm so excited about. We've got the Shawl KAL coming up.
Yep. Shawl KAL cast on is
Today. Should I show? Do you know what you're doing?
I do, but I don't have it with me.
I know. Is it here, or is it
It's
at home?
It's at home.
Okay. Mine is not here either, but I'll be knitting the all about the ruffle shawl. Cannot wait. I'm so excited. Garter stitch. And I'm knitting it in, oh God, what color is it?
Is it in your office?
Yeah, can I?
Yeah.
Right. So yes, I can't wait. I'm knitting this in the Scottish Yarn Festival in the 4-ply in the color Duncan.
Let's move this.
Thank you. And it's going to take 3 of these. And it's going to be so squishy. The sample that Carolyn sent us, this is a design by Carolyn Holbrook. She sent us a sample, and that's all I did. I fell hard because it's a beautiful garter stitch, squishy, bouncy, with this really nice detail. I think some other people might be knitting that too.
Yes. We do have kits for the All About the Ruffle. I think stock is getting low at the moment because you guys have been loving the Scottish Yarn Festival 4-ply lately.
Yes.
So we will have a restock coming ASAP. So you can sign up for the back in stock on the website if the color you're looking for is not available.
It's almost the same color. It's a bit more corally than my top, but obviously I like the reds and the pinks.
Yes.
So I'm very excited about this. What are you going to be knitting?
So I'm going to be knitting Gudrun Johnston's Tara shawl.
Ooh.
I keep seeing these. I forget your name. Somebody even came to the shop last week. And she was wearing a really beautiful Rhoda sweater in fennel yarn, which I've added to my queue because the fit on her shoulders was amazing. But she also brought in her finished Tara shawl to show me. That really sealed the deal. Like, I already thought I was going to be knitting that. I did go through my stash and pulled out. I have a cone that I'll be using for the main color.
Of Jamieson and Smith?
Yeah, and it'll just use the tiniest bit of that. And then some... Hopefully I like the colors. So we can put a picture of the Tara shawl here.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get this.
Are you happy to be knitting a shawl? Because I remember when the knitting world, was cranking up and there was just so many shawl designs out there and everybody was knitting a ton of shawls. When I actually started knitting again back in 20, whatever it was, a long time ago. 08, something like that, maybe before. Everybody was knitting shawls, and the first things I knit was a shawl for my sister. Then all my friends got shawls, and so
I went through a real shawl phase. What I like about this shawl actually is that it's really skinny, and you can kind of wear it like a scarf. Because I already have quite a few like big schlankety shawls that regularly get wear. But I like that it would be lightweight, sort of the
you can wrap it
mid-seasons that you can wear under a coat without too much bulk, but when you just want a little bit of something. When Gudrun was here, what was that, in the fall? We had her trunk show here, and that was one of the samples was the Tara shawl. And, it was really, really pretty.
Nice.
And you can just really play around with the various colors and Anne at Capran Cottage has been knitting them, and I love seeing her color combos. So
is it the one with the old shell?
Or razor shell, I think.
Sarah at Walgren Knits, I think she knitted one. It's really lovely too. I was just watching her episode over the weekend.
And I hear it knits up very quickly, which is lovely. That sounds lovely.
Fast knit.
Because everything else on my needles, it feels like bigger projects. Which is okay.
I'm excited to be knitting a shawl. It's been quite a while, probably. I mean, I think the last shawl I might have knit was the Haligarth in Rambler. But and I love that shawl. But I'm happy to be knitting a shawl. You can't go wrong with shawls, really, and you don't have to worry about gauge so much. So it's sort of a break, in a way, from that size worry for sure. So I hope you're going to be knitting along with us. That starts tonight, and you can knit from stash. Make it the Woolly Thistle purchase stash though. That's definitely favorable, and we'll be running that, and then we've got the Vest KAL coming after that at the end of May, and I think that's going to be really, really well attended and really fun. So.
If you're looking for more info about the Shawl KAL, or you want to sign up, you can just head to thewoollythistle.com, and there is a Shawl KAL in the menu where you can click that button and just go and sign up. It's very easy. It's just an email.
We'd love you to do that and tell us you're going to be knitting along with us.
I got distracted. So for the Colorwork Accessories KAL prize winners have been chosen. If you want a prize, you should have been notified by now. Congratulations to all the winners.
And thank you to all the designers who and various people who offered prizes for everybody. That makes it really fun.
I always like pointing out that prizes are chosen at random. Everybody's a winner. They're really chosen at random. It's not based on the quality of the product.
Subjective,
there's
nothing.
We do it at random.
Right.
So thank you all for participating. We all hope you have a great time.
And really, it's the participation that counts. And we had such a lovely call at the cast-off party on Zoom. So thank you for being there. I really enjoyed it. And also just to mention to our locals, thank you for coming out to the Craft Studies shop hop that we did couple of Saturdays ago by the time you're watching this. It was well attended, and those of you that came here got a tour of the whole shop and warehouse, and I think that went quite well. So I hope that we'll do more collaborations with Craft Studies and Junction Fibre Mill in the future. So that was good.
Yeah.
And let's see, should we go to another segment yet, or should we look at shop news?
Sure, let's go to Emma.
Emma's great. She is talking. She has knit a lot of vanilla sweaters, is what I noticed. So go and watch, and we'll see you on the other side.
Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Shopcast. I'm so excited to be with you all today for my March Shopcast segment. Today I'm wearing a vanilla sweater. I made this with full length sleeves, and I made it in J&S 2-ply jumper weight in color FC21, which is kind of like a lavender tan. I think that's what they call it, lavender tan mix. And I've been wearing a lot of my vanilla sweaters lately because it's kind of in that transitional winter to spring period where I live in the mid-Atlantic in Maryland. So this is like a perfect piece to just layer over a tank top. It's not too heavy, but it's going to keep me warm enough in the chilly mornings. And yeah, I have them in like a ton of different yarns. And one of the things that I really like doing is knitting vanilla sweaters in different yarns to see the difference. And as long as you pick kind of a sport fingering weight yarn, it's pretty easy to find the gauge that you need. So this was my first vanilla sweater, the J&S one. And the reason that I knitted it in J&S was because it was knitted at the height of COVID in 2020, and everybody else was buying the Rauma fennel garn, and I couldn't get any to make a vanilla sweater in Rauma, so I got J&S instead and thought this will be fine, and it was awesome, and I love it. So I've knitted them in Rauma, J&S, I've knitted them in Retrosaria. It's like the Peggle Hall. I don't know if that yarn is still at the Woolly Thistle, but it came from the Woolly Thistle. In a kind of orange. I've knitted it in Too Cool fingering weight, which I love. I think that one might be my favorite. I've knitted them, and then I've knitted them in just like a variety of other fingering weight yarns. And yeah, I just wear them all the time. Yeah. Oh, Le Petit Lamb's Wool. That's another good one. That makes like a really, really lightweight one because it's like a light fingering weight. So you can also, pro tip, if you're knitting with like a slightly lighter weight yarn, you can knit on the size needles you feel comfortable with and just go up 1 or 2 sizes in the sweater if there are multiple sizes in that direction for you and your size. Just like make sure to do a little bit of gauge math beforehand to make sure that sweater will fit horizontally. With everything else, you can go by measurement, like length measurement, but you want to make sure that your horizontal gauge is going to fit you based on the number of stitches around in the body. So anyway, I hope everyone's having a great spring. It is like now spring, which is crazy. It seems like winter went really fast, but one of the things I'm trying to do this spring is finish some whips. And I think this is just a kind of normal spring headspace for knitters to be in. It's like this kind of spring cleaning situation in the brain with other things that aren't just cleaning your house and your space. It includes the kind of whip finishing. And we've talked about this in years past. We've even had like challenges in years past, I think, about this, but I am here to shame myself publicly into finishing a bunch of whips. So I'm going to show you a lot of things. I don't think I can have them all finished in the next month, but I would just like to state my intention to finish as many of them as possible. So if you're like me in this position, you can laugh along with me and, enjoy just feeling like you're not alone, I guess. So come back next month and see how many of these I've finished, and I will be sharing that. Even if it's 0, it won't be 0, but it might be like 1 or 2, and that would be kind of embarrassing. So this is why I'm doing this. It's to motivate myself into actually working on these whips and not just casting on new things and spinning whatever I feel like spinning, So first one, this is, these are just 2 sleeves. I'm knitting a Svensson sweater from Jared Flood of Brooklyn Tweed. Here's one of the sleeves. The second sleeve is like the last big piece I have to do. The front and back are both finished, although I do need to fix the back and maybe also the front. So this may be more than just knitting a sleeve. Then I need to block it and sew the pieces together and knit the neckline. So there's still some work to be done on this, but like I'm past the point of no return, you know, the point where you're like, oh, I don't feel like working on that because it hasn't grown enough. So this one is getting there. Very exciting. If you want to knit a cable-y Svensson-like sweater from the Woolly Thistle, I would suggest like Studio Donegal. That's a lovely yarn. Or trying to think. Yeah, anything that's like 3-ply would be good. I would say like Ulcentrum would be good. Yeah, Ulcentrum may be good for that. But yeah, lots of amazing options. Retrosaria. Brusca's a nice yarn. Yeah, there's lots of great options with the Woolly Thistle. You're not going to go wrong with any option. But yeah, you could let us know your favorite yarn for cables from the Woolly Thistle in the comments if you've knitted something with cables from Woolly Thistle yarn. Rambler, great option. That's not DK weight, but maybe you could hold 2 strands together. My next project is a pair of socks. This is not a project that I'm worried about finishing. It's just I'm on a sock kick right now. So this is just knitted with random sock yarn that I had. Don't know particularly what it is. Might have dyed it myself. This is the Red Robin socks from Helen Stewart, Curious Handmade. I think this is from the Handmade Sock Society season 1. And I just think it's a fun pattern. This works great if you need some room in your socks because it has this pattern that includes yarn overs that you then pass over stitches. And so the yarn overs like provide some nice stretch. I always put a little locking stitch marker in here to tell me when I did the last repeat before the heel. Also, if you're wondering, that's a hot tip. And so I've been just like loving Helen Stewart's patterns lately and really wanting to knit them. So I have been doing that. I am knitting what I want and knitting for self-care, and I think that's great and important. I love knitting my own sock patterns, but sometimes I just want to knit someone else's. Like, I don't want to be the boss today. I just want to knit. So you might feel that way too. Next whip is a baby sweater. This is just, I think I dyed this yarn too. I sometimes just mess around in dye pots and do fun stuff, and there was just some skeins of this random yarn. I definitely encourage people to play around with yarn dyeing. If you haven't done it, it doesn't actually require that many materials. You just kind of need like a pot that you're not going to use for cooking. You need some dye, like you can get acid dyes, and then some like vinegar or citric acid, something that's going to stick the dye to the yarn, and like a wooden spoon with which you can stir that you're not going to use for food. I wrote on mine yarn only, just in case anyone ever tries to use it to stir food. And yeah, so it's pretty like low cost to get into yarn dyeing and fiber dyeing, and you can like get any yarn, like superwash, non-superwash. So if you want to get like woolly yarn and try dyeing it yourself, you can grab some like white or bare skeins from the Woolly Thistle, or even like natural colors to over dye, which is really fun. I would definitely recommend doing that as a summer project. You just use your own stove. It smells kind of weird when you do it. It smells like hot wool, but you know, it's fun. So anyway, a friend of mine from childhood just had a little boy, so this will fit him next winter. And I need to knit one more sleeve on this. Anyway, also have this cowl from the Colorwork KAL that I said I was totally gonna finish and then didn't, but I think I have a little bit more done than I did last time. So this is a new version of this cowl. There's a lot of things on my desk and I'm trying not to overturn them. Newer version of this cowl and just these new colors that eventually I will release probably later this year for on Ravelry as a design, or maybe as a kit. That would be fun. We'll see. I've got this pressed flowers cardigan. I was inspired by Caitlin's pressed flowers cardigan a couple years ago that she made for Rhinebeck with hand spun and Ulcentrum, and I am making it with my hand spun and some random woolly yarn that I have had for a long time. And mustache. So I love the like dark cobalt blue with the hand spun color changing. Super fun. I haven't worked on this in a while, actually. It's been a whip since like the fall. So eventually this will get done, hopefully before summer, as part of my spring cleaning. To be honest, once the back's done and the fronts are done, it's just sleeves. So I'm probably like halfway done, right? That's knitter's math. I'm probably not halfway done, but that's okay. Eventually I'll be halfway done. This is probably why I'm not working on it, because it's not at the critical point yet of, oh yeah, I gotta work on that because it's almost done. So, yep. And then my last whip here is, this is just some hand spun. This is the Traveler hoodie by Andrea Mowry, or it will be the Traveler hoodie by Andrea Mowry when it's done. This is just the body piece. I just blocked it so that I could figure out how much it would stretch, because it's kind of like an elongated garter stitch, and it stretched a lot, so that was exciting. And this is some hand spun that I dyed. I dyed the fiber. I picked it up at Rhinebeck a couple years ago with the Woolly Thistle team, and yeah, I've been kind of spinning the fiber for the last year-ish. Still working on it. It's not all done, but most of it's done. So I've started knitting on the Traveler hoodie. So it's kind of like a more vanilla project. Yeah, so those are my whips. Come back next month and I will tell you which ones I finished. Hopefully it's a lot of them, but yeah, maybe like two to three, maybe 4 if I'm really productive. My guess is that not all of the sweaters will be done. 1 max will maybe be done, but that's fine. You know what? That's progress. Yeah, I hope you're all enjoying your whips and anything new that you're knitting as well. So see you next time. Bye.
Thank you, Emma, and thank you for showing us all your whips. She doesn't mind having quite a few whips on the needles either, which is good. I sort of never have that many whips on the go. I might maybe 3 at the most that I'm actively working on, but I'm fairly monogamous when I get my teeth into something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But thank you, Emma. That was really good. And thank you for knitting all those vanilla sweaters, and that you're knitting them in different yarns is really interesting too. I want to see the one in Tuku. I think that would be really something.
Yeah, all her whips. I love that even she's working on cables right now.
Oh, it's just a thing. Okay, so shall we do some shop news?
Yeah.
Yes, so this is my latest pattern or design, and it's these wristlets, which I don't have the other one here, but they're sort of fraternal twins, so they're different colors. Same pattern but different colors, and the hat, which is nice. And thank you so much if you have purchased this kit. It's done really well, despite the fact we've been out of yarn for most of the time, but it's in now, so if that still floats your boat, it's perfect for spring. Shall I put it on?
Sure.
So it's a lovely wee, just a wee tam that is perfect for spring and feeling jaunty. Yeah, so yeah, it's nice. Jamieson and Smith.
It looks like it would be a very potato chippy knit.
It's a hugely potato chippy knit, and it's really, really fast. There's not a lot of knitting in this, honestly, and you're just doing your decreases round and round. Yeah, and it's got a nice little brim on it. You can definitely have tams with deeper brims, but this one's quite narrow. Yeah, and so it's a quick knit. Oh, so
I do think we had a question about what a potato chippy knit is.
You don't know? Okay. When we say something's potato chippy, we did not invent this, first of all. This was, oh my gosh, what's their name? There's an audio podcast that's been going for years, Mother and Daughter.
The Knitmore Girls?
Knitmore Girls. I used to love listening to them. I might check them out again. Yeah. They always talked about things being potato chippy, and what it means is you can't just stop at one, right? So it's one stitch, then the next stitch, and you know, just this section, then the next section. Yeah. So that's potato chippy, and we certainly we are afflicted from that disease,
so
which is
that's
lovely.
all that means.
Yes.
It's you can't stop at one.
Right. So what is next?
What is next? We have a few things that have
come back in stock.
A number of books.
Yeah.
There is a new pre-order from Laine that looks really, really good, and many of you seem to be excited about. It is the 52 weeks of scrap yarn. We can
holla.
Yes, I am excited to see.
Yes.
I can't wait for these to come in. We also have received restocks of a Grand Shetland Adventure Knits.
Fantastic book.
And we have put together some kits for the Verdeck shawl. In this.
It's lovely,
you can
isn't
see
it?
this would be a great choice for the
Shawl KAL.
Shawl KAL.
Spindrift.
Our kits use Spindrift, yep. And we have a selection of colors. If you don't see a kit in the color you want, you can always go to the Spindrift page and pick it up by the ball. If you are picking up a kit, just be mindful that the pattern is only available in the book, so make sure you have a copy of the book.
And so you can see Gudrun Johnson there and MJ Mucklestone. They wrote this book together over in Shetland. They photographed all the beautiful designs. It's a lovely, lovely book. Nice read.
Yes. Recently released by Laine is Everyday Knits.
Yes.
This looks really, really wonderful. I had so much fun flipping through this the other day.
Yeah.
I love, there's a vest in here that I really, really love. It is this one. It's knit in Brusca.
Yeah.
I like see how it ties over there on the side. I just think that'd be really, really cute.
Yes.
Throw it over some dresses or just lots of
just a little
ways.
layer.
Speaking of dresses, you can knit a cozy little dress. Everything in here just looks really lovely and wearable.
Yeah, and simple lines, I think, which is every day. So
so check that out. That is in the shop now. The Victorian House Cats book is still available. Love this book.
It's doing well.
We still need to where your little kitty.
Do you want to see my kitty? It still doesn't have a face.
That's okay.
My kitty cat.
Yes. I love this kitty.
And the tail. Yes. And the profile. It's all about
it's
the
like
profile.
an emotional support kitty.
I know. Can you see the profile? Just the perfect little nose.
Just
But
really, really cute.
I need a face on there. I need to do that. Or Maggie, didn't you threaten to do it?
I did threaten to give the cat a face. Also new to the shop is the Gansey Knitting Source Book by Di Gilpin.
Oh, yeah.
This has lots of, it does have patterns in it. It also has lots of motifs. So if you are designing your own Gansey.
Well, I thought I just saw a vest and I thought, what a great idea. Where did I see it? I just saw it. There's one.
There's
another one I saw though.
Yeah, there's a couple vests in here. There's some really lovely patterns in here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And Di Gilpin, of course, is an eminent designer who does a lot of really interesting work. Nice. So here's one of the vests.
Yeah.
And of course we have the Gansey wool frangipani, which would just make these stitches pop.
Yes.
Lovely.
And then Marie Wallen books have been restocked, including her most recent book, Erin.
Yeah.
Which is knit with her Erin yarn.
Yes, and we got lots of yarn in for her too. So are we fully stocked in?
We're pretty fully stocked. In the 4-ply, she was out of the raw. So we're waiting on that. So,
but
everything else is back in. So if you've been waiting for a kit or a color to be back in stock, now is the time to check.
And when do we know when we think Raw will be in?
We're expecting it by end of April.
Okay, so not too. Oh, okay, a little bit longer.
Yeah, a few more weeks.
You know, that's the thing with these wonderful yarns. They take time. Good things take time.
And if we hear it's coming sooner, we'll be sure to let you know.
Yeah, yeah. This is cute.
And we get a lot of requests for kids knits and classic Nordic. I can't read backwards. Knits for kids. This book is really, really cute.
It really is.
It has lots of. It makes me wish I had some little people to knit for. But let's not rush everything, right? So, there are some really lovely designs in here.
There is, and of course it's knit with really woolly wool, which I love.
Oh, look at the little. Just so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Aww.
So there's some really wonderful designs in here.
Yeah, really pretty.
Yeah, I can see the back cover. There's just wonderful.
Yes.
So lots of great books in the shop at the moment.
All right. Nice library's worth. Yes. All right.
And I think these are the
oh my gosh. So
my knitting. Oh, sorry. It's fine.
So you can see what we've got here.
Yeah.
The Friday before today, these launched and they have done really well. So we still have most of them because we did a nice big order. So if you're interested, come and get. So Maggie, this one I think is pink.
That one is light pink.
Light pink herringbone, and it's got a lovely sort of taupe background in that herringbone design. And of course, what's so special about these is the tweed is handmade in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland, so islands off the west coast. They're handmade on looms that they motorize with their feet like a bicycle.
Yeah.
And then the mill will pick up the finished yardage, take it back to the mill, and then they will make sure that it is deserving of the orb, which is this here. And it's the Harris Tweed Authority, which is a parliamentary governmental, approval. So only tweed made in the Outer Hebrides using pure wool and made by hand on the islands get this. So it's special. And then Katrina, who is from the Outer Hebrides, she will take all this tweed that we select and take it over to India, where her workshop then makes them by hand. These are phenomenal. Really good value for the price, I would say. And these are a good size for a sock project or things like that.
I think too, not limited to your knitting, right? Like I think a nice notions bag.
Yep.
I keep saying that I think my husband would really like one.
This one here.
He's the designated bring your cord guy.
Yeah.
If you need any kind of cord.
I use one for that.
Yeah.
I do. I've got several. I use one for all the cords when we travel. And then I've got one that I use for my art supplies when I travel. So I've got a little book and a little set of paints and my brushes. And they fit in here. So you're absolutely
the
right.
inside is nice and soft.
It is. It feels good. It's brushed cotton inside. And there's a couple of wee pockets.
I kind of wanted to show this pink one next to that pink one. So we have two. This one almost has like a purpley tone because it's pink with a blue herringbone and it's a wide herringbone.
Right. So it feels cooler in tone and this one's warmer.
Yeah. And that's why. It's because the pink and the blue really give a lavender hue.
And also, let's not forget the details and things like the zippers. They're all color matched.
Yeah, and the zipper quality is really nice.
It's gorgeous.
A nice, smooth.
Yes, and we won't be ordering these again for a while. We have to save up to do that.
Yeah.
It's a quite an undertaking and it takes a long time. So I would, if you're interested, get them now. Very special.
Yeah.
So this is lovely.
This is lovely. This is a traditional dog tooth.
This looks like my grandpa's hat or deer stalker.
Yeah, it's just really wonderful.
Yeah, and they do all have our
Very
labels.
classic.
This is this blue and green? Is it called that?
Yes.
Yeah, green and blue.
check.
Yeah, really nice again. This was a new. In fact, all of these are new.
Many of these
tweeds.
are new. Yeah, this is a blue and gold check.
Yeah, I think
really
I might have to
wonderful.
get that one.
Yeah, it's really nice.
This though speaks to me. The fuchsia. Look at these colors.
Last
just so
time we
juicy.
had these, they absolutely flew.
So this one's
a
a return.
a restock.
Gorgeous.
Sometimes we're able to restock previous ones, but sometimes if the tweed isn't available, we're not able to do it. Our lovely purple.
Which is the woolly thistle colorway. We've got the totes. I don't know if we have them in stock right now.
The purple is currently sold out.
Yeah. And then this is a very popular one that we brought it back. This is the teal herringbone.
Yeah. And the blue herringbone. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's one we brought back.
Yeah, we do have the full-size tote available that matches this.
Ah, great. And then this is gorgeous. Red.
Yes.
Red and a sort of pinky with some orange in it. It's just hot and lovely.
Yeah. If you purchased a red carry-all, this is your matching bag.
That's right. Yes. Just beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I'm really proud of these. I love the collaboration with Studio Tolsta. They do a wonderful job and they're great to work with.
Just really lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, and they do have our logo on the side.
Yes.
It says the Woolly Thistle.
Yes.
So
there you go.
Very fun.
Use it with pride. Okie dokie. So those are in, and so far I don't think we've sold out of any. We might have sold out of one of the colors that we don't have to show you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else we have.
We did not show. We have one new kit.
Yes, so Maggie, this is a new shawl that we have, a new design.
Yes.
It's in the Scottish Yarn Festival DK 3 skeins.
Yeah, the Foolish shawl was recently released. It's a pattern by Sarah R.
I think I've seen a picture of it. We'll put it here, but I think it's quite large with lace.
Yes, I think so.
All right.
We'll put a picture here.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It is really, really lovely. And kits are available on a selection of colors, including Wallace. And we put together some other colors too. Baird, which is a nice, lovely taupey natural
beige.
Bruce, this is one of my favorite colors.
Yes.
I think that the designer's color was in Bruce.
Yes. Okay.
And then Tate,
which is a nice natural gray.
Dewar. And Gordon.
It's like Tuesday. Except you say Tuesday here. Yes. Oh, I like Gordon.
Yeah.
It's
really
gray, but
beautiful.
it's
like a deep bluey gray.
got like a dark indigo
Yes,
kind of vibe.
wonderful.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, so those kits, along with all of our other shawl kits, are available in the shop now.
Listen, as always, it doesn't matter if you're late to the party, if you're just sort of getting your ducks in a row and thinking, oh, I want to knit that and I want to be in the Shawl KAL, you can be. Just sign up whenever you're ready. You know, all are welcome.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We have also brought to the shop a restock of some shawl pins that we had last year, and they did really, really well. So if you're looking for a shawl pin to help you keep your shawl in place.
Yep. Oh. And these are on the shop now?
Yeah, these are in the shop now. We also brought in some that are just that sort of stick style.
Yeah, I like that too.
I like this one. It's a lovely blue.
Red.
Yeah.
Pretty.
There's a cute little owl. Just really adorable.
And then a green one, feather.
Yeah.
So this one's got a feather motif. This red one has a shell. And then, yeah, this is Lily. This one here. Very nice.
Lovely,
Very
yeah.
nice.
So
Nicely
all those
packaged
are
too.
available now. We also, it came and went already fairly quickly. We brought in Wool Dreamers has a new embroidery yarn.
Yes.
Named Missy, which I believe is named after.
It's adorable. Grandmother?
Yeah, named after a grandmother. And you can see, as always, their graphics are so pretty. Look at that little image. It's so nice.
We've got 5 colors. Yay. And they're just 10 grams of woolly wool.
And we put together cute little 5-packs, so you could either buy the individual colors or the 5-packs. Many of you chose the 5-packs, and I don't blame you, because this is irresistible.
And the idea is that you use it to embellish your knits, which if you do that, let us see. We'd love to see pictures. Yeah,
I could see a number of you purchased your embroidery yarn and a copy of Lina's embroidery on knits.
Which is back in stock.
It's perfect pairing.
Yeah.
So the 5-packs have now sold out. We will restock, so if you're looking for a 5-pack, you can sign up for the back in stock notice.
Yeah.
But there are still some single balls available.
Fantastic. I think that's everything for the shop, Maggie. Have I missed anything?
So, no, I think we have one more winner to pick.
Let's pick the winner.
And then some yoga to do.
And then some yoga.
All right. Our second winner today of a $25 gift card is at Margot Faye 9402. And Margot says, the new super soft yarn looks and sounds beautiful. I've never joined a knit along, and I'm thinking the shawl along would be a fun one.
Yes.
To be my first. Thank you for the lovely episode. You're so welcome. Margot, we hope you join us for the KAL. Sign up today.
Yeah.
But first, Margot, if you can email us at info@thewoollythistle.com, put prize winner in all caps, and we will get you your gift card.
Yes, and if you want to be in the running to win like Margot did, all you need to do is leave us a comment down below. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And you'll be in the running to be picked at random next time. I do want to mention that I was on Gudrun Johnston's podcast recently. She interviewed me. It went live while she's over there in New Zealand having a fabulous time. And I really enjoyed chatting with her. So go check her out if you haven't checked out Gudrun's podcast. It's really good. In spite of me being on it. So there you go. And I think, Maggie, we're done. So I think all we have left to say is go check out the yoga. But before then, if you go out,
take your knitting.
Bye.
Hi, Woolly Thistlers, and welcome to spring. This is the time of year when your bodies are shifting from winter stagnation, holding on to things, having more mucus and more other stuff and less movement, and shifting into a season of warmth and moisture and health and sunshine and all the things that we've been missing all winter long. At least I've been missing them because it's been a long, cold, dark winter where I live. So this is a part of a longer practice that I have on my Patreon page where we explore stagnation and cleansing through breath and the circulatory system. This is part 3, which focuses on digestion, which I know all of us usually want a little bit of improvement in. So the only prop you're going to need for this class today is a towel, which I've just rolled up. It's not fancy, it's not even pretty, but it'll do the job. So if you're ready to explore a spring shift into better digestion, then let's get onto the mat. See you there. grab a hold of your jelly roll. And we're going to start the third part of our series on getting rid of the winter gunk. So our digestion tends to get gummed up over the winter months. We eat stodgier food. We tend to eat more of it because we're bored and we're inside. We're not moving. And when springtime comes, it's really a good time to get things moving in the abdomen. So with our jelly roll, we're going to place it right there on our hips and then fold forward. You can bend your knees, that's totally fine, until you feel some compression between the thigh and the abdomen. And then you're going to hang here and breathe into it. So use your breath, every inhalation, to breathe into that jelly roll. And so it's not just your lungs, but also that external towel that are compressing the abdomen. And what happens when you squeeze something? When you release, there's a movement and relief and all good things. So breathe into it, breathe deeply. Good. Okay. If your knees weren't bent, bend them now. And gently roll up. Whew, and notice how good it feels to take the pressure off. Now you can really breathe to your full capacity. It's lovely. Okay, from here, just drop your jelly roll for a moment and take a nice wide stance. Turn the feet out about 45 degrees. And we're going to take the left hand and reach all the way down to the right ankle. If you need to bend your knee a little bit, that's totally fine. But we're going to work toward straightening that right leg. And at the same time, reaching up to the sky with your right hand. So I've got a beautiful twist going on. It's harder to breathe in a twist, but you do your best because this is another example of squeeze and release. Stimulation for the digestive system. So breathe. One more deep breath in. And exhale, and we will walk our hands around to the other side. Right hand to left ankle. Reaching the left arm up. If you need to bend into that left ankle or left knee, that's totally fine. But work toward making that leg a little straighter. And breathe. Really massage those organs, using your lungs as your massage tool. Good, and release. Beauty. Okay, we're going to come all the way down. Now, if you have sore knees, this one you may need to do an alternative, and I'll show that to you in a, well, actually, I'll show you the alternative right now. So if you cannot do a knee stand, they're hurting, then we're going to come down into bridge and do hip raises instead. Okay, so that's your alternative. But otherwise, we're going to come into a knee stand. Now for me, a knee stand can be a little bit sore, so I just double my mat up or triple it up or quadruple it up. So I got lots of padding under my knees. And the other thing that I always do is I flip my toes. And that just gives a little bit more support to the knees. So the hands are going to come behind you. So we exhale and just tilt the chin down. That's it. Nice straight spine, but tilted head. When we inhale, we're going to lift the chest and then reach back with the head. So there's actually a bend from the upper back. It's a modified camel. That's inhale. Exhale, straight back, chin tuck. Inhale, lift heart, look back. Exhale, straight back, tuck chin. Inhale, lift the heart and reach back. So the hips never move. They stay directly over the knees. The movement comes from the upper back and the neck. Good. That's lovely. We're going to come onto our mats completely now. Bring your legs nice and long on the mat and then grab your jelly roll. Place it right there in the crease, the hip crease, and then we're going to fold forward. If you can grab your toes, great. If you can't, grab whatever. And again, we're just breathing into it. Stimulating those organs of digestion. Squeeze and release to encourage movement. Last deep breath in and out. And then up we come. Okay, we're going to come onto our bellies. And this time, the jelly roll is going to go just below your ribs. So not on the ribs, just, well, maybe on the lowest rib. So it's a little bit of a lift. And so option one is right here in Sphinx, where our elbows are under our shoulders, our hands are resting on the floor, but there is some pressure provided by the jelly roll. So if this feels where you want to, like this is where you want to be, stay here. Your other option is Dhanurasana, which bow pose. So you're going to reach back and grab your ankles. And then lift the knees up while you're still rocking onto the jelly roll. So let your breath move you here. It's pretty intense. There's a nice quad stretch happening here too. Good, and release it. Good. Bring that jelly roll down a little bit more so it's now just above the hip crease. So just above the pubic bone. And you're going to stack your hands and let your weight just melt onto your towel. Now it's easy to breathe deep. And switch sides, looking the other way. Noticing how nice and clear your respiratory passages feel. So the next thing, you're going to come onto your back. And you're going to rest your sacrum, so that bone between your hip points, on the jelly roll. It's not much of a lift. It's just enough. Bring your right knee in. Give it a good squeeze and then slide the left leg away. And imagine you're pushing something heavy away from you. It's like there's a brick or something on your mat and you're just trying to get it as far away from you as you can. And at the same time, you're squeezing that knee into your chest. Breathe into your thigh. Good. And we'll switch sides. So both knees can be bent. Draw the left knee into your chest and slide the right leg away. Perfect. So we stimulated the ascending colon. Now we're stimulating the descending colon. Okay. Perfect. Release, bend both knees, take that towel out from under you, and we'll finish with one of the best poses there are, happy baby. So you're going to take the knees outside the frame of the body, soles of the feet towards heaven. Grab a hold of your feet and just roll around a little bit like a happy baby would. Lovely massage for the low back. Beautiful. And then release and find your very best Shavasana. And stay here as long as you want. Just notice how mobile the energy in your body is. Our lungs, our blood, and our abdomens experience a new spring in their step as we bring more movement and less stagnation into our bodies for spring. Thank you for practicing with me today. I will see you again soon. Namaste.